Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, and it's great to be a part of the Ziglar Family Challenge. I want to talk to you about relationships, and particularly family relationships. I believe the one essential to having healthy family relationships is that you're meeting each other's need for emotional love. Almost everyone agrees that the deepest emotional need we have is the need to feel loved by the significant people in your life. I believe inside every child there's an emotional love tank. And if the love tank is full, that is, the child genuinely feels loved by the parents, the child grows up normally. But if the love tank is empty, the child will grow up with many internal struggles. And in the teenage years, will go looking for love, typically in all the wrong places. But I believe that adults also have an emotional love tank. And if you're married, the person you would most like to love you is your spouse. In fact, if you feel loved by your spouse, life is beautiful. But if you feel like they don't love me, they wish they weren't married to me, life begins to look pretty dark. And just as much of the misbehavior of children grows out of an empty love tank, much of the misbehavior of adults grows out of an empty love tank. So I want to talk about how do you keep the love tank full? And especially in a marriage, when you come down off the high of the in-love experience, how do you keep emotional love alive? The difficulty is that we've assumed that whatever makes me feel loved will make them feel loved. And that's a false assumption. I discovered years ago that there's fundamentally 5 ways to express love emotionally. I call them the 5 love languages. Maybe you've read the book, The 5 Love Languages. And what I'm trying to do there is to help couples learn how to communicate love in a manner that the other person will feel loved. So let me just give you the 5. Just be a summary. 1 is words of affirmation, using words to affirm the other person. You look nice in that outfit. Really appreciate what you did. Words of affirmation. There's an ancient Hebrew proverb that says life and death are in the power of the tongue. You can kill your spouse or give them life by the way you talk to them. And then there's acts of service. Doing something for them that you know they would like for you to do. Such things as cooking meals, washing dishes, vacuuming floors, walking dogs, changing the baby's diaper, anything you know the other person would like for you to do. You remember the old saying, actions speak louder than words? It's true for these people. If this is your love language, actions will speak louder than words. And then there's gifts. It's universal to give gifts as an expression of love. The gift says, they were thinking about me. Look what they got for me. The gift doesn't have to be expensive. It's the thought that counts. But I remind you, it's not the thought left in your head that counts. It's the gift that came out of the thought in your head. You can pick up a stone in a city parking lot and take it home and give it to an 8-year-old boy and say, hey man, I found this today and I thought about you. Look at the colors in this stone. I wanted you to have it. If gifts is his love language, you'll find that stone in his dresser drawer when he's 23 and he'll remember the day you gave it to him. Gifts. And then there's quality time. Giving the person your undivided attention. I do not mean husband and wife sitting on the couch watching television. Someone else has your attention. I'm talking about sitting on the couch with the TV off, looking at each other, interfacing with each other, and with a child, the same thing. Doing something with the child, giving the child your undivided attention. And the number 5 is physical touch. We've long known the emotional power of physical touch. That's why we pick up babies and hold them and kiss them and cuddle them. And long before the baby understands the meaning of the word love, the baby feels loved by physical touch. The basic message is that out of those 5 love languages, each of us has a primary love language. One speaks more deeply to us emotionally than the other 4. Now we can receive love in all 5, but if we had to give up one, we'd give up this one, and then this one or this one, but not this one. This is the one that really makes you feel loved. It's very similar to spoken language. Every one of us grows up speaking a language with a dialect, and that's the one we understand best. We call it our native tongue. I grew up speaking English Southern style, but every one of us grew up speaking a language with a dialect. Same thing's true with love. Now, once in a while, someone says to me, I don't know, Gary, I think 2 of those are just about equal for me. And my response is, fine, we'll give you 2 love languages. We'll call you bilingual. But by and large, we have a primary love language, a secondary love language, and the other 3 fall in line under that. Seldom does a husband and wife have the same language. And even if they do, they'll have different dialects within that language that they find most meaningful. So the key is to discover the love language of the other person and learn how to speak that language. I've had many, many couples say to me, Gary, we were that close to divorce. Someone gave us a copy of your book on the 5 love languages, and the lights came on. And we looked back over the years and realized we'd been missing each other. We had been loving, in our own minds, we'd been loving the other person, but we weren't connecting with them. And when we connected, it turned our whole marriage around. Now, if you have children in your family, the question is not, do you love your children? The question is, do your children feel loved? Every child has a primary love language, and you can discover that language by the time they're 4 years old. My son's language is physical touch. When he was 4, I came home in the afternoon. He'd run to the door, he'd grab my leg, he'd climb up on me. He's touching me because he wants to be touched. Our daughter never did that. She would say at the age of 4, Daddy, come into my room, I want to show you something. She wanted quality time, my undivided attention. They're grown now. It's still their love language, physical touch and quality time. So I want to challenge you, and here's the real challenge, to discover each other's love language, every member of your family. You can do that by reading the book, or read the book, The 5 Love Languages of Children, or The 5 Love Languages of Teenagers. Make sure you understand each other's primary love language. And with children, give them heavy doses of the primary, sprinkle in the other 4, because we want them to learn how to receive all 5 and how to give all 5. That's the healthiest adult. Most of us did not receive all 5. So as adults, we have to learn some of these languages. But the good news is, any one of these languages can be learned as an adult, even if you did not receive it as a child. So I hope you'll take this challenge, and I hope you'll learn how to communicate love to your spouse and to your children in a way that is meaningful to them. If the love tank is full, I can tell you, it's much easier to process all the normal conflicts of life that we have in marriage and in family. So I hope you'll take the challenge. Discover and speak the love language of every member of your family.